Hey, it's me, Jessica Graham Robinson with SacredSpaceHealingArts.com, and I'm here to tell you why hips don't lie. What do I mean? Why did I name this class Hips Don't Lie? I called it Hips Don't Lie because that's the name of a really catchy song, but really I named it that because your hips the health of your hips, the state of your hips, are such an integral part and piece of your physical health. And you can't lie about it. Your hips will tell the story. Whether we're talking about lower back pain or stiffness, or whether we're talking about digestive health, or whether we're talking about emotionally having a tendency to control or worry all of the time. Your hips don't lie. They tell a story. And in this course, I want to teach you how to have healthy hips, because in our current society, in all of this area, this Western world, we sit so much. And we don't even sit properly. In the old days, we would be squatting, right? Before we had chairs and desks and things like that. But even with a chair, there's a proper way to sit. And when you don't choose a good seat because maybe you never knew what a good seat was, or when you are getting exhausted and let yourself slump, or you're tired and you get home and you sit on the couch in the wrong way, or whatever it is, maybe it's even your work-related activities that you're going to be doing regardless, no matter what. But there's a way to do them. There's a way to sit. There's a way to do those activities in a way that's not causing you dis-ease in your body and in your life. So here's what we need to do. We need to learn these pieces of what our hips, what our bodies need for good alignment. We need to learn how to implement them in our everyday lives, in the work that we do. We also need to learn some therapy for the patterns that we've created in our bodies and our lives, the patterns that are not serving us. So this course is therapy for your hips and for your life, to help you get back into a place where you're not complaining of back pain all of the time, and where you're feeling just like you can flow through your day a lot better and through your life. So that's what our hips do. If you think about it, your hips are the central point. They are your center, your anchor as you walk and move through life, literally. This area of your body is where the upper body and the lower body meet, and it is your center. It's very indicative of how you move through life. Are you clenched? Are you held down? Are you scared? Are you worried? Are you robotic? Are you rigid? Are you flowing? Are you easy? Does life move seamlessly? We all have issues. We all have ways that we're stuck, but the hips are such an integral part. And so it's not something that many people know about. When I'm seeing people in my massage practice or just in daily life, I notice that so many people don't sit well, don't stand well, have all of these chronic issues that could be solved by just a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of practice. And so I want to give that to you. So we're starting this Thursday. It's going to be 5:30 p.m. Thursdays for 6 consecutive weeks. And we're going to do just that. We're going to learn how to move more seamlessly through life in a purely physical way, as well as an emotional way, how to really tap in and feel what you need and how to flow better. So we're going to be talking about all kinds of things, and it's going to be a lot of practical tools for you to use in your life as well. So I hope you can join us. One more thing, I'm just going to give you a little tiny snippet of anatomy education here of why it's important for your hips to be flexible as well as strong. And it's this. So in this area of the body, if you can imagine your pelvis in this central location, and you have these two femur bones, these two legs. Hi, Jago. I don't know who else is there. Thank you for watching. We have these two femur bones that insert into the pelvis, right? And so and then this is your femur head that goes like this. So we have these giant thigh bones and really nice big pelvis to be stable and move through life in this way. But what a lot of people don't realize is we have so many pieces interconnected. So we've got like muscles in the front, we've got the hip flexors, we've got the quads, we've got the outer, like the abductors, we've got the adductors, we've got the hamstrings, and then we've got the glutes. We've got the quadratus lumborum even, which is deep lower back muscles, kind of mimicking the deep hip flexor muscles in the front. And then right underneath the glutes, we've got these 6 deep lateral rotators. And these lateral rotators, on most people, they're tighter than the opposing muscles, like your inner thighs, for instance. If you think about it, how many things do you do that really use your inner thighs? And how many things do you do that use your butt muscles? We do a lot more that uses our outer thighs and butt muscles than we do that uses our inner thighs and abs. So the balance is off for most people. If you look down when you're walking and your feet are turned out, that's a perfect example. I mean, not that they shouldn't be turned out at all. It's not a big problem for them to be turned out. But if they're turned out severely, or if you notice that it's harder for you to get your feet and your knees, your toes to face forward, then you've got probably some issues that need to be worked out. So what happens when we have this imbalance, and particularly in those deep lateral rotators get so over tight, whereas the rest, like the inner thighs, tend to atrophy, is that you end up using the wrong muscles for some of the actions that you're doing. And over time, coupled with the fact that people don't move. Who out there is belly dancing? Who out there is dancing and moving your hips on a regular basis or doing yoga on a regular basis, right? We're the minority of the population. So most people, like 80% of people, don't explore their natural range of motion in their hips because it's a taboo area. That's one reason. But what happens by this area not getting its full range of motion on a regular basis is that all of the muscles, some of them atrophy, some of them get tighter, but that whole space around the hip joint tends to get tighter and tighter. And when you've got that happening, because you don't have much movement going on in that area, it's very like small movements, right? You start to lose circulation in your hips. You start to lose the space that allows for the nervous flow and allows for the blood flow. And the result of that is that your bones, the bones right there, start to actually go necrotic. And then that means they're going dead. They're dying off. The bone cells are dying off because they're not getting the nutrients they need, because they're starved because of the lack of range of motion and the constriction that's going on in that area. And then guess what happens? You fall and you break your hip when you get older, right? Or you start to have hip problems first. Some people actually, it's the other way around, and the hip might break and then they fall. So we don't want that to happen, and it doesn't have to happen. But I'm telling you from my experience of seeing people in my private practice, they're like the majority of people are headed in this direction. And I'm not exaggerating. The majority of people are headed in this direction for having a hip replacement at some point in their life. And it doesn't need to be like that. So I'm not saying that my class is the answer to everything, but it will help you in a very big way to make some changes in your body and for your life. So if you feel stiff, if you suffer from chronic lower back pain, if you just want to avoid having a hip replacement, you might want to take a class that deals with these kinds of things. So it's called Hips Don't Lie because they do not lie. They tell us a whole lot. And I look forward to exploring this more with you starting on Thursday. That's tomorrow. So you still have time to sign up. I will post the link in this video, like for this video, so that you can sign up. And then go to the Facebook event page and click going if you're going. Let me know that you're going. So we've still got a few spaces left, and I would love to see you there. Thanks for watching. Namaste.